All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Silver is running up. Look at silver. Silver's over there. All right, look at silver. Silver's pushing up. It's at 75.27s here. See if it keeps running. It looks like it is. Up to $75+ a share. Bitcoin right around 88,000. Gold at 4,400. Gold's still a little ways away from its all-time highs, though. But the Nasdaq is mostly flat today, not really moving too much. Again, it's a holiday week. SPY is flat. A lot of stuff was red yesterday, but the SPY is actually slightly green today. The Q slightly green as well. But yeah, essentially what happened is that the S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow are flat. 2 straight red days to start the last few days of 2025. Year to date, the S&P's up almost 20%, the Nasdaq's up over 20%, and the Dow is around the mid-teens in gains this year. Today is expected to be light. Silver futures are up about 3 to 5% this morning. They're at the mid-70s again, at 75. Yesterday, we had a big 8% sell-off in silver after it broke all-time highs and was on that crazy run. It spiked above 80. And then yesterday we had a big 8% plus sell-off. The CME did hike margin requirements for metals yesterday, which ultimately was one of the reasons we dropped. But we had a lot of dip buyers pick up silver. Ongoing China export restriction worries are helping the rebound, I think. Gold and copper also green. Gold is up roughly 1%. Copper's up 2% as precious metals are getting bought. But we did have major indices pull back yesterday. Investors locked in profits in tech. We had some good stocks. Nvidia close to 190s again if you look at it. So here's Nvidia right here. Close to 190s. 188s. And Bitcoin near 87,000, but it did dip some. If you take a look at Bitcoin a little bit further out here, we did have that big drop yesterday. I still can't figure out what happened yesterday. It happened yesterday mid-morning. But yeah, we got the Fed minutes report today, the FOMC minutes report. We got like the Kate Schiller and some other stuff. But outside of that, it's a little light. I wouldn't really call this a Santa rally. I think we're somewhere in the middle. Again, the economic data is a little bit light. If we look at, we got the Fed minutes report today at 2, jobless claims tomorrow, and then we got the New Year's holiday. I'm probably not going to stream Friday, to be honest. Although maybe I will. It'll be the first market day of the new year, so maybe I will. I don't know. But next week we got ADP non-farm employment. Wait, do we have the prelim NFP data coming out today? I completely forgot about that. Do we have that going live today? Hold on. I'm not sure if we have the prelim NFP data coming out today. It says Tuesdays 8:15. I don't think we're getting it today, but we might. It's hard to tell. Let me see if they said anything about it. Because, like, okay, here was their previous schedule, right? Here's the schedule through the new year. Last one was the day before Christmas Eve, the 23rd. But then they say Tuesdays at 8:15, so I'm curious if it's going to release this morning. Because next week we have the actual monthly report, right? So next week we have the monthly report on Wednesday. We're not going to get the Tuesday report. Yeah, I'm going to cover FOMC minutes. So from my understanding, the raise margin yesterday was a tactic to force some of the over-leveraged longs out of their position. I wouldn't be surprised to see silver get back over 80. Yeah, I mean, maybe we get the prelim weekly ADP report. It's possible we get that. I don't know for sure, but maybe. It would drop at 8:15 in less than an hour, though, so I'm trying to figure out. I'll title the stream that. It's hard to tell whether we're going to get it or not. Today, but we get the Fed minutes report today. So that's for sure. Let me see if other places have this scheduled. Today is Tuesday. Silver, yeah, silver again back up to 75.30s here. We made like $700 yesterday trading silver. Yeah, I don't see anybody having this scheduled though. I'm thinking we don't get it today. Let me double check though. Yeah, I don't see any other place that has it scheduled for today, which is Tuesday. I see we get the Case-Shiller House Price Index. We get Chicago PMI today. And then we got the Fed minutes at 2 p.m. Okay, so they did an update. Here's what it is. Okay, so this is what it is. All right, so we're not going to get December 30th ADP dated today. So we are not going to get jobs dated today. You can read that right here. The week ending December 13th corresponds to the reference week of the monthly NER report. The next NER pulse will be released January 13th. And so the next one we're going to get is next Wednesday's monthly jobs report from ADP is what this is. And again, if you look at the ADP numbers last time, the ADP numbers last time we got 11,500 jobs, 17,500. So the job market has improved the last 3 weeks, going from a negative number mid-November to a positive number late November, a more positive number at the end of November, and then at the beginning of December we had a positive number as well. So the jobs market's looking a little bit better. If we take a look at yields this morning in the wake of everything going on, but we do have the Fed minutes report today, which is something. Yields are spiking up a little bit earlier this morning. Yeah, look at yields spike up 4.13%. Look at yields right here. The yields are spiking up right now. Looking at the Fed watch tool, we're still 16%, a little bit better than yesterday, but 16% likelihood of a rate cut, only 16% chance, about an 84% chance of a pause next month in January. We have good news out of Europe, hierarchy people. Hey, what's up, Sparta? What's up, Jay? Something expected from Power, not much. What? For the Fed minutes? Fed minutes report is not Powell speaking, it's just a recap. Yeah, we definitely don't have PCE inflation today. Stock market is a massively multiplayer online RPG. Yeah. I mean, we got some stuff. Tech and transportation, save the time and increase. Yeah, all good, Jay. No worries, man. I went and saw the other Avatar movie with my daughter yesterday. It was all right. It was long. It was long. You can also tell they're setting it up for another one too. So like they're setting it up for the sequel. Silver in Shanghai stands around 1683 per gram, equivalent to roughly $82 to $90 USD per ounce, depending on the exchange rate. Yeah, I mean, it is a holiday trading week. I mean, I'm sure things are a little bit softer today. We don't have, like, we got house price data at 9 o'clock. We got Chicago PMI at 9:45, but that's really it. Everything else is kind of slow today. We got the Fed minutes report at 2. Yeah, and tomorrow I'll probably cover jobless claims and then shut it down. I just don't know how many people are really going to be trading tomorrow. So we'll cover stuff, but silver dipping down. Is it worth buying the dip? I made so much on silver yesterday, but the spread and the not even the spread, but the range, the price per tick, even on micro silver futures, it's kind of crazy. I did make a lot on it yesterday though, and I should be able to reset some of these combine accounts too if I want to swing on those. Let me see. Yeah, I can reset this. All right, let's try again. Silver, here we go. I guess I gotta like buy the dip in silver if I'm gonna do this. Right? If I just take one, it's not that bad. All right, so we're gonna try to build up a cushion here, and then increase size once we have that cushion. Hey, what's up, R? What's up, Sam? That's all. That's billion and borrowing. Is it a half day tomorrow? I think so. Tomorrow's a half day. It's also the day before New Year. It's New Year's Eve. Obviously, last trading day of the month. Last trading day of the year, I should say. We bought this dip. Add a little bit to this, see if we keep popping back here. A little off right there. Okay, so we're up about 100. Got a little cushion now. The thing I like about silver right now is that I can't add to it to get like a better position. Yeah, this precious metals absolutely crazy. Like, these runs are ridiculous. Yesterday should show that I mean, obviously there's still some risk here. Things are up a lot, but a lot of people think we're going to keep running as well. I was going to buy this dip. I didn't really have time. You know, 30, 40, 50, 60. All right, I'm going to cut that there. Yeah, now we're up like 150 or so on the day. We got a cushion now. I probably could have held it, but that's all right. Seems like the silver run's happening now with this. Like silver's still going crazy. I'm gonna buy this again, I think. Very micro pullback. If I can add more to it. What's about to pop soon, you think, R? Any stocks look cheap right now? see equities are kind of on a 2-day pullback, although AMD is up a little bit. But like Meta, Oracle, Nvidia's pulling up some though. Nvidia's up to 188.50s. Yeah, just to clarify, this is a combine account that I'm trading on this early. And so we're just kind of swinging and see if we can catch a dip. You can add so much because you can take up to like 25 micros or something like that. So I can just kind of add to these positions. But with this, again, it's a combine, so it's $50 in risk. You think Intel is cheap? Intel's at 37s. But Intel's dipped a lot. Problem is it's like highly volatile. It might be cheap, it might be risky too though. I don't think there's no risk for Intel. I think there's obviously some. Alright, we took some of that position off. A little bit more off up here. I'd be weird of getting into equities long right now. If silver runs, we could see liquidation and equities cover calls. Yeah, no, that's true. I think that's why silver's running and equities are kind of dipping simultaneously. Alright, I'm gonna hold the rest of this break even. Yeah, we're up 250 or so. Platinum is already high, you just can't expect that one pull back down just like gold and silver. Platinum might go lower so it can run back up again in a couple years. Yeah, I mean, precious metals in general have been running. This looks interesting. Like if we go to look at silver. Even the moves this morning, I mean, silver has gone from 73s all the way to 75s this morning. So you can kind of see the broader move where we had the big 8% drop yesterday from a lot of stuff, CME. Now silver's kind of taking another push here. 80s, I mean, it's a ways away, but silver, some of these moves are pretty steep, parabolic looking. Yeah, I'll have to check the Discord, Sam, regarding your post. Yeah, but the president did say he might still fire Jerome Powell. That I do still do, hasn't changed. Said at a press conference Monday when asked if he has a favorite candidate. He also added that Powell should resign and that he'd, quote, love to fire him. I don't think he's going to fire him, but we'll see. I mean, Powell cut rates 25 basis points 3 times this year, you know. Equities are coming back down. So here's the NASDAQ here. Again, here's the NASDAQ. Equities are falling down. Silver's ripping up right now. Look at NASDAQ go down. Again, Nvidia investing 5 billion. Yeah, so the last few times silver started to squeeze, the way they've controlled it is by raising margins, forcing some selling. But the industrial demand for silver, so they're expecting this one not to work like it has to press the price back down, according to Pawn Context. So, and again, you can see equities, the NASDAQ falling down as silver falls down, or as silver goes up. I still wake up to a green pre-market. I mean, the SPY is slightly green. It's actually, no, the SPY is slightly red now. So is the NASDAQ here. But like, look, if I put up, the NASDAQ's red. So is the SPY. If you're talking about silver, gold, yeah, silver, gold is green. But it's red yesterday, so it's kind of mixed. Hey, thank you, Sam. Yo, hit that like button. I'd watch nickel just because Brits have magicians. The end of the year tax planning. Yeah, maybe. I guess Santa didn't come for this Santa rally, though. We got 2 days of pullbacks here. NASDAQ fighting its way back up. But again, the NASDAQ is red. Previous closing price on the NASDAQ is 25,744. Same thing with the S&P. The S&P is also red. SPY is red. 687.50 on the SPY. 687.80 is the previous close. So SPY is red. NASDAQ is red. Silver's green. Yeah, let's do a poll. The silver break all-time highs today. Gonna be the question. Silver break highs. Did we have a Santa rally last year? I don't know. Let's see, it doesn't. No. Trying to look to last year. Here's February 2025. I'd have to change this to so I can look longer to the 1 day chart. Okay. Oh, all right. So last year here. So no, we did not get a Santa rally last year. Last year we got kind of a Santa dip, I would say. Here's the 26th. We dropped from the 26th all the way to the 1st. That we moved up a little bit, but by the end of January we were net red. At the end of the year, silver just broke highs of the day. Look at silver, 75.60s right now. 75.60 for silver, high of the day break. Yeah, the Santa rally doesn't always happen. I asked people if silver is going to break all-time highs. 75% say yes, or 53%, I'm sorry, say yes. Silver is going to break all-time highs today. All-time high on silver is over 80. It's like 82s though, so it's a long climb up. Here's all-time high for silver. It's just under 83s. That's a long road up. But in terms of the trend here, silver is pumping right now as we speak. And again, the news again today is pretty light outside of the Fed minutes report. Yeah, I'm looking at markets. I don't see any big news driving markets this morning. Not necessarily anything big here. I am watching Nvidia. Nvidia is technically green on the day. Look at silver though, pump. Silver just broke highs of the day again. It's a 2-minute chart. I'm gonna put a 1-minute chart up. Yeah, up to 75, 78. It's almost 75, 80s right now for silver. Silver futures. Look at this run. Is gold moving up with it? Look at silver. Still flying. At 44.18s right now for gold. Gold's still a little ways away from all-time highs, but you can see gold's dip with everything and then the rebound, and you can kind of see silver's too, but silver's almost up to $76 a share. $76 an ounce, I mean. There's a spread. We talked about the spread yesterday. We did talk about the spread yesterday. I don't know how bad it is today. Yeah, so yesterday we talked about the silver squeeze. Just yesterday when we talked about it, there was about a $6 to $8 gap between the West and China and silver. It's caused by physical shortages in Asia. Traders are paying a premium to get the actual physical metal. The Western is more of a paper market, they say, and it's lagging behind. So they say it does reflect tighter physical conditions in Asia, but the numbers in framing. Reports from bullion desks and refiners say Asian buyers, especially in China and India, are paying big premiums over Western benchmark prices to secure physical silver. Industrial investor demand plus new export controls over there. Western futures prices on COMEX and more paper driven, slower to fully reflect that tightness. But yeah, there's a growing gap between the East and West in terms of silver. Asian buyers are paying a premium for physical metal, physical silver. Western or paper driven. But yeah, yesterday it was $6 to $8 an ounce, which is not small. That's a big discrepancy. Hi, sir. Good morning. Today, at what time does come out the Fed rate interest rate? So we got the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, 2 p.m. We're going to stream it as we always do. But it is a shortened week here. So remember, markets only have a half day tomorrow. Thursday, they're closed. Friday, most people aren't going to be streaming. And so we'll cover it. But again, silver on a look at this trend here. Look, 75.80s right now for silver. Got really close to 76. But yeah, China's new silver export controls starting on January 1st next year in 2026. Gonna make exporters get government licenses limiting shipments. So basically, you're gonna have to get approval from the government in China to ship silver, physical silver. And that's like the new dynamic. Again, you're gonna have to get government licenses to ship silver. China exported 40 million ounces. The year before that, 60 million. I wear a diaper when I trade silver. Honestly, you probably need to. Silver's dipping down though. Let's see if it's worth buying the dip. I don't know. But yeah, so exporters in China must now obtain government licenses, and only a vetted list of mostly large state-linked firms are allowed to ship silver abroad in 2026 and 2027. It covers key silver forms, refined bars, some concentrates, and semi-manufactured products, effectively reducing the flow of freely available Chinese silver into global markets. They want to secure silver for their own high-priority sector like solar, EVs, batteries, electronics. And in that, China's already the dominant player, and demand for silver surging because of limiting exports. And they could also tighten global physical supply, push up international prices, and use silver policy as another tool in broader trade and tech. So, it makes sense why they're doing it too. Like, I understand that. It gives them more control, right? Is essentially what it does. It gives them more control. But buyers in Asia and the West now have to pay higher premiums to secure physical silver, which helps explain the East-West price gap that we were talking about earlier and the aggressive spike in silver this month. So industries outside of China, like solar panel makers, EV firms, Electronics firms face higher input costs and growing concern. Gold, on the other hand, though, is pushing back up here. So look at gold. Yeah, tomorrow's a half day. It closes at 1 o'clock. Yeah, oil's at $58 a barrel. Silver is like $16 or $17 per ounce higher than a barrel of oil, which is interesting. Here's a dip in silver. I might buy this dip. Let's try it. I start small, and again, this is a combine, so we can play around with this pretty safely. If we get a rip back up here, silver. You could also probably make like a trade where you kind of take inverse and you short equities if you think silver's gonna bounce. Luckily though, we got a pretty big cushion on the day here. I'll try to hold on to this. Here we go, we're green. See if silver makes a big bounce back up here. There's some. Okay. Gonna take some off. Take a little bit more off. Look at this. Take a little bit more off. I'm gonna just try to let this roll here. Maybe add to it if it goes in my favor. Am I red? How am I red? I mean, I'm the top 3 reddest, but I don't know what you're talking about. I'll tell you what's not red is this trade right now. You know? I'm gonna buy a little bit more here. As I say that, it pulls back. Again, I don't know whose fault this is. It's definitely not my fault. All right, there we go. We're gonna take that profit off. Yeah, we're up like 500 now. I'm gonna liquidate that right there. Yeah. You love to see it. You love to see it. Get buys working until they don't. At these prices, Russia and Australia about to be the top 3 exporters. Maybe. Part of me is like, I should go buy up some physical silver. Because physical silver, I don't really have that much physical silver. I'm not going to say what I've got. Just like I'm not going to give you guys my mother's maiden name and my social. But maybe I should buy more physical silver. Honestly, though, at these prices, I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe I'll buy this dip here. Hold on, let's try. All right, so we got 2 micros back into this. We got a huge cushion on the day, though, so that's good. I could also add back within reason, but I don't know if I'm going to. All right, we're going to add back here. We crack underneath this, I might sell though, realistically. We're still up on the day, but believe we can bounce. Gonna swing down in silver. And again, the news is light today. We got Fed minutes report. That's it. Oh, we got industrial. Or no. We have the Case-Shiller house price index at 9 a.m. Fed minutes is FOMC. Or is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I'm in silver futures. I'm still green even with this trade, but definitely not looking good. That's a big red candle. I think I gotta sell now. Kind of a scary red candle here, to be honest. Maybe I'll just go back to trading the NASDAQ. Look at silver fall here, though. Wow. What a pullback all of a sudden here. Okay, I did buy the dip again. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll take some more off up here. Yeah, now we're up like 700 on the day. I think I'm going to add a little bit to this and see if it holds. Hey, yeah, my holiday was great, man. Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I only buy physical, never sell. I mean, I think essentially what Rob is saying. So, hold on. Let's take a little bit more off up there. We got this little guy up here. I'm not gonna worry about this little guy. If this one micro contract starts to go red and silver, yell at me, guys. Yell at me. What he's basically saying, okay, the right way to invest in stocks, and I'm gonna preface this with I am not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. All that good stuff. Don't copy me, essentially. But what he's saying, like, it effectively the right way to buy stocks is to buy them, to buy healthy companies, average into them over time, and never to sell them. Right here, I'm gonna sell this little guy. We're up over 700 now, and so what that means is like you buy the healthiest companies in the world, you dollar cost average into them within reason, and you hold them, and you eventually hand them over to your kids, and it builds net worth for generations, buying and holding onto stocks. If you buy the right stocks, that's what you do. And I think in terms of precious metals, there's probably even more of an argument for that, especially as time goes on, especially with how much precious metals are used in technology. That dynamic's not going to be changing anytime soon. You know, there's obviously risk short term if you're trying to sell short term, but if you DCA hold long term, it's pretty safe. I'm gonna say pretty safe. It's not risk free, but it's pretty safe. And that's probably what he's talking about. And I think that dynamic in precious metals makes even more sense. Again, a lot of the time, money managers are not doing anything special. They're just sitting on things, right? Where like if you give it to a person and that person has to manage it themselves, right? Like a long-term portfolio like that in different things. If you give it to a person, the flaw of the person managing their investments is that they're going to get emotional and sell. You know, you're going to have a 30% run in something and they're going to say, ooh, I'm going to take profit. I'm up 30%, right? Long term, it's peanuts compared to what you really would do if you stayed in it. It didn't sell long term. But again, people are emotional. They're going to see a 30% gain and they're going to say, ooh, let me take profits, right? Where long term, it might make thousands of percent if you just didn't touch it. And that's what like money managers sometimes do better than people in general, because people get emotional when they sell. Whether they're up or down, they get emotional and sell. And usually getting emotional and selling is not the right decision when you're talking long-term investing. And so that's kind of, you know, that's why I never sell. That's probably why I'm saying that, is because there is an argument for that. Yeah, it's like me saying, hey guys, I'm going to hold this long-term as a long-term day trade, and then I sell 5 seconds later. Basically the same thing. I saw the silver stackers at $59 calls and from December 2nd. Hey, good job, Turtle. Yeah, if somebody's about to retire imminently, it's different. But again, it's very subjective in that context, like, or in that regard. It's very like, people are different. You know, if you're going to retire imminently, you don't have time to benefit you, right? Like, if I'm holding something for decades, I'm much more likely to make money long term versus holding something for 3 years. Because if I get unlucky in that 3 year period and the market turns and crashes or whatever, that's not good. Where if I'm holding something for decades, even if I get stuck in a crash, I'm still going to be higher than where I was when I started it 2 decades ago, most of the time. And so I'm still going to be net green. But going back to the context of the chat right now, if you're about to retire imminently, you don't have that time benefit. And so your decision making might be a little bit different than somebody that's 20 that wants to save for retirement, you know? How many companies have gone nowhere and bankrupt? Well, yeah, but the way you get past that, Vasquez, is indexes. Indexes are going to take the healthiest companies and then throw everything else out, and you're going to stay in. You know, that's why everybody always describes indexes as the safest bet if you want, like, risk. But if you want risk and good returns, indexes. The Warren Buffett strategy, undefeated, really. Silver going to go up or down today? I don't know. We asked people, is silver going to break all-time highs? 55% say yes. And honestly, I think all-time high break on silver, it could happen today, but it might not. All-time high is 83, basically. Look, all-time highs are way up here to 83 or 82.75. We're at 75s. It could happen, but silver would effectively need a huge spike up there to get there. So we'll see. Yeah, indexes are the way. Should have bought this dip in hell. Look at this. Big spike in silver as I say that. I wonder if there's like a NASDAQ short I can get into right now. Let's see. Silver. The NASDAQ is kind of heading up too. All right, so I did take a short here on the NASDAQ, kind of taking a counter trade right now. We're up a little bit. There we go. I don't know. Silver just broke highs though and then retraced. Inflation's going to be brutal. Oh no. Wait, let me. All right, we're down less than $100. I'll let it test the 200 exponential, see if it rejects. If it does, we'll cut out of it. All right, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I gotta start cutting this. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ pop. We're out. We lost 150 or so right there, I think. Let me see exactly how much. Yeah, about 150. What did silver end up doing? I think silver's pushing up with the NASDAQ here. Look at silver. Silver just broke highs, got up to $76 a share. Silver up there, $76 a share or an ounce. The Nasdaq's kind of heading up too, though. Again, the data's a little light this morning. Today's John is feeling risky. I mean, I'm trading. I don't know if I even traded any of my actual funded accounts today. I'm just trading. Yesterday, I made $700 in my actual funded account, so I'm not trying to give it all back today, going crazy. If we get some really good edge, maybe I'll attack some stuff. I think silver's going to chop up and down for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe. Again, the news today is light, except for the Fed minutes report. The offer rate came in at 3.77% for yesterday versus 3.76 for the 26th. I wonder if the market's going to chop sideways, though. Silver just broke highs again, pushing up to 77s here. Look at silver. Still moving. 76.23s for silver. Silver's fun until you start losing. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to give my $700 in gains back. Honestly, I started trading yesterday on my funded accounts in silver micros, thinking micros would have a tiny range. They do not have a tiny range. They're honestly probably one of the bigger risk trades you could take. I mean, the SPY is slightly red today. NASDAQ is as well. But it's not easy trading. It's kind of choppy range, but red. Like, I am shorting the NASDAQ here, but see what we get. There we go. I'll take some of that off down here. Take some more off. We have to break this down here. Hold on. All-time high adjusted silver is 190 from January 1980 when it reached 49.49. Still not even halfway. AGQ. I'm still in this trade. I'm up about $70 here. $70. The chat keeps going from live. All right, so we're still up. Now we're up more. I'm going to take some more off right here. We're doing all right. We got 4 contracts left in silver, or in the NASDAQ here. I'm kind of shorting this as silver starting to move up. Saw some social media from coin shops that showed us of yesterday. They had people lined up out the door to buy physical silver. To buy it, I would assume selling it, trying to get your money in while it's so high. Like, I understand that, but buying it is different. I think there's obviously risks in buying silver right now, but with the export restrictions from China, again, we talked about this earlier. But exporters in China must now obtain government licenses, and only a vetted list of mostly large state-linked firms are allowed to ship silver abroad. So the rules cover silver forms from refined bars, concentrates, semi-manufactured products, effectively reducing the flow of freely available Chinese silver into global markets. Beijing and China are doing this to secure silver for its own high-priority sectors like solar, EVs, batteries, and electronics. But by limiting export controls, they can now tighten global physical supply, push up prices, and potentially use it as another policy tool in trade tensions. Buyers in Asia and the West now have to pay higher premiums to secure physical silver. So that's a thing going on right now. You're welcome. Thank you, Sam. I don't know what I'm thanking you for, but thank you. You know, whatever it is, we appreciate it. All right, we'll probably cover the rest of this break even on the NASDAQ. We're short the NASDAQ here. We'll cover a break even if it starts to push over my entry price. We're very close to now. Yeah, we're gonna cut it right here. The shops are talking in like crazy this week. Crazy demand for it in retail. Yeah, we got the Case-Shiller House Price Index at 9 o'clock today. So. JP Morgan's got some splaining to do. I mean, JP Morgan, look, JP Morgan did the same thing when in the 2008 financial crisis. They were long in 2007, I believe it was. And I might get the dates or any part of this wrong, but I'm pretty sure JP Morgan was long in 2007. And they pivoted to a net short position eventually. And so they took the wrong direction, and then they immediately went back and got in the right direction. Maybe you can learn a little bit from that, but I think that's what they did. They were shorting silver, and now I think they're net long in silver, correct? Right now, as of now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure JP Morgan is now net long silver. They moved all their silver overseas starting a few months ago and has moved a couple. Hey, what's up, Lee? Banks are always hedged. Look at silver push up to test the highs of the day again. JP Morgan is who bought out Bear Stearns when it collapsed. Had to take on Bear Stearns' entire short position. Yeah, but wasn't Bear Stearns... Didn't they fail because of too many long positions in Bear Stearns? I'm trying to remember. All right, guys. They use their shorts over the years to acquire physical silver. Silver's up there. It's hard to short this right now, though. It's just too big of a move. Yesterday was the best entry for silver. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we dipped 8% in silver. Now we're back up, so... Bear Stearns is someone I would follow. Bear Stearns isn't even around anymore. I don't think. Yeah, they failed during 2008. Yeah, Bear Stearns failed. Matt is now green on the day, though. Let me see if we... And so we're actually green in equities. Us buying that silver ETF yesterday also helped. We're still in that. Silver just broke highs again. Yeah, so apparently Bear Stearns had a massive concentrated short position in silver futures before its collapse in 08, betting silver prices would fall, but a sharp price rise caused by big losses, forcing its sale to JP Morgan. They inherited these positions. They were accused of using spoofing and other tactics to suppress silver prices, though they eventually reduced the holdings after regulatory scrutiny and fines. Yeah, so Bear Stearns had a huge number of short contracts in silver and gold futures. But in early 2008, during the financial crisis, silver and gold prices surged, triggering big margin calls. JP Morgan acquired it, inheriting these big positions. Regulators did allow them to unwind it over time, though. After taking over, JP Morgan was one of the largest players in silver, using its power to suppress prices by adding more short positions when prices rose, buying physical silver cheaply, and then repeating it. Yeah, I was going to say, I would assume during 08, silver prices ran, huh? See if it lets me go back that far. But I'm assuming during 08, silver prices ran. I don't think I can look back that far on silver futures. Oh, with silver futures I can. Okay, yeah, so silver futures. Okay, so yeah, look, if I put up, what is this? Flash SI. Put up a max chart here, and we look at 07, 08. Yeah, I mean, silver prices ran all the way up to $21 an ounce in 08. But then through 09, they crashed. It dropped over 50% down to under $10 an ounce. And then from 09 to 2011, they ran about 500%, up to 50. But just take this as a lesson here, though, guys. Like, the thing about silver is that it can downtrend for a long time, especially when it hits a mania. And so, look, we ran in 2011, silver prices were $50 an ounce. In 2011, all the way to 2020, so 10 years, we dropped all the way down back to 12. So we dropped from $50 an ounce down to $12 an ounce over a 10-year period in silver. And so I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Be careful with precious metals. They can downtrend for a long time. Long term, you're probably going to be fine. And I think, especially with how much technology we're using and you know, how much technology we're dependent on now, there's a little bit more resilience in this type of thing, but just be careful. Be careful. Gold, silver, I've said it once, I'll say it again. It can downtrend for a long time. Did I bring you in? Who brought you in? I don't know if it was me. I don't think it was me. Maybe. Not an investment professional, guys. All right. Over this is the new cash, maybe. And it's moving. Here's Nvidia. I'm watching Nvidia today as well. Nvidia back up to 188s. Green on the day. Technically. Gold at 44s. Bitcoin at 87s. checking for news, but the news is again a little light today. We're not going to get the ADP jobs report this week. They're skipping it and coming back in January. Next week we get the the monthly report on Wednesday next week, and then we got the don't we have the labor report next week as well? Yeah, so next week we got the December labor report. We got the unemployment rate and more. So we get the unemployment expected at 4.6%. 4.6%. Yeah, so JP Morgan, again, I think they were net short. They're now long in silver. JP Morgan holding the world's largest stockpile of physical silver. They have 750 million physical ounces. Over the last week alone, they have accumulated over 21 million ounces. From June to October 1st this year, JP Morgan sold off its $200 million ounce paper short position. The first time in history that JP Morgan has been long in both physical and paper silver. It's also worth noting that JP Morgan's shift coincided with the US Mint saying that they ran out of coins. Maybe they know something we don't. Quote of the day, we shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad quote. All I'm saying is, like, I think smiles are actually instinctually signs of submission, you know. And so because of that, I'm gonna smile as much as I can today. Submit to the markets. Maybe I'll do good. You know? Listen, I'm just an arguer today. I'm just arguing. Yeah, JP Morgan knows something we don't. 100%, K. They've got to. They know something we don't. Smiling has deep evolutionary roots as a signal of submission or appeasement, evolving from the primate's silent bared teeth display to show harmlessness and avoid conflict. Can you summarize what you just read about JP Morgan? Yeah, essentially what I just read, something Pawn sent me, is that JP Morgan has amassed over 750 million physical ounces of silver. Over the last 6 weeks alone, they bought 21 million more ounces. Question one is, how do they do this? How do they accumulate that much physical silver in such a short period of time? And again, from June to October, they sold off 200 million ounces of paper short positions, which freed up funds to buy physical ounces, leaving the financial institution with zero short contracts. Again, it's the first time in history JP Morgan has been long in physical and paper silver. It also coincides with the US Mint saying they ran out of coins. So that's what's going on. Gold pulling back a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'm just being contrarian. Tell that to the Joker? I mean, that's true, I guess. I know some stuff. Here's an example. COMEX is less than 10% of physical silver versus how much they have stacked in the futures market. Yeah, and I think all of this stuff has been what's helping silver make its run over the last few days. JP Morgan, biggest bank in the world, being net long on silver after being net short. Also with it coinciding with them, the Mint saying they're running out of coins. So all of this has been being really bullish for silver and gold. We'll see if they hold today. Again, we do have the Case-Shiller house price index. I don't think we have any other data today. Let me make sure. We got the Case-Shiller house price index. We got Chicago PMI as well, and we got the FOMC minutes report today too. Tomorrow we have jobless claims. They're expected at 217. Last time they should have at 214. So we do have a jobs report tomorrow. Yeah, JP Morgan's going to control the market, China banning the export of silver. Again, the other big silver news that we talked about earlier today is in China, they're restricting exports of physical silver. So basically what they're doing is they're now making exporters obtain government licenses, and only a vetted list of mostly large state-linked firms are allowed to ship physical silver outside of China in next year and the year after. It covers refined bars, some concentrates, and semi-manufactured products, reducing the flow of freely available Chinese silver into global markets. And they're doing it for their own solar, EV, battery, and electronic sectors. China's dominant in those, but by limiting exports, they can control physical silver supply, push up prices, and use it as a policy tool. And so that's going on as well. Look at silver pull back, though. The time to buy the dip here. I don't know, man. I think this COMEX might have to declare force majeure. But I guess Michael Saylor is the only one buying Bitcoin these days. I mean, Bitcoin's, it's not the weakest it's ever been. Thinking about buying this dip in silver. Gold is pulled back as well. Nvidia's up there. Switzerland stopped their exports as well. They're about 40 to 60% off of all refined silver providers. Oh, for sure. I should have bought the dip apparently here. Apparently my charts have been on a 2-minute chart. Does anybody use these? Have you seen the massive, like, 4-decade cup and handle on silver finally breaking out? Yeah, I don't know if silver, like a long-term cup and handle technical pattern's really going to have an influence. I think silver's mostly going to move off of supply and demand, and that might be what the technical patterns are showing. But I think the big rise in silver has to do with a bunch of different fundamental catalysts, like China's export restrictions, JP Morgan buying them up and going net long, you know. And so while I think technical patterns matter, I think long-term silver's going to go up, and it's more going to have to do with fundamental catalysts than technical catalysts. Technical catalysts are just self-fulfilling. And I think people are more so going to be buying silver because of the export restrictions from JP Morgan's news and more, right? As well as just the general dynamic of technology needing silver for hardware. And with the growth of AI systems, silver's just becoming much more needed. And so again, demand, right? Not saying technical patterns don't work long term, but I don't know if that's why silver's moving up this time. Yeah, 2-minute chart is what I've had here. I never really have used 2 minutes before, but honestly, my trades have been mostly green. All right, guys, so it's almost 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Again, today specifically, we got Case-Shiller House Price Index at 9. We got Chicago PMI at 945. Again, I bought silver ETF yesterday. I bought PSLV yesterday on the dip. Bitcoin now above 88,000 here. If you look at BTC, it's over 88,000 here as well. Yeah, so Pawn says the crazy thing is JP Morgan waited until the export ban in China to be a catalyst to really ramp this up, at least to people blaming China for the collapse and not what JP Morgan has been doing. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think, look, they're a big investment bank. They're a big investment in a big bank. They're a big investment bank and also just a big consumer bank, but they're going to use what they can as leverage to benefit their positions. This is what banks do. That's normal, I think. You know, they're going to take the stance with, like, I don't know whose fault this is. It's not our fault. But, and you know, that's what they do. Yeah, we're going to stream the Fed minutes at 2 p.m. Yeah, we are. You guys red or green this week with all the silver stuff going on? We've only had 2 trading days, and then tomorrow will be the last trading day of the year. We do have the Fed minutes report today at 8 p.m. Or I'm sorry, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 8 p.m. Again, we do have the K-Shiller at 9 o'clock in the morning this morning. Big green, Meta buying Hong Kong-based AI startup Manus for $2 billion. Yeah, the economic data is a little light today, but that's all right. Again, consumer spending is extremely concentrated among high-income households, apparently. Households in the top 20% of income now reflect 39% of spending on goods. Concentration is even higher in new vehicle purchases, where they make up 55% of total spend. I mean, I think that makes sense, though. Look, I've always said buying a new car doesn't really make sense. Unless you have money like that, buying a brand new car, you're going to lose, what, 20-30% of that value just driving that car off the lot. It makes maybe more sense to buy a used car with very low miles than buy a new car with 0 miles on it. You're paying a premium to get that 0-mile car, and especially in terms of financing. Like, if you're financing a brand new car and you're not in the top 20% of income, you're probably making a mistake. Realistically, like, I get it, you want a new car, it looks good, everything's all great, and that's fine, but it's generally a mistake to do so. Not unless you have really good credit and you can kind of write it off or something like that. Maybe that makes sense, but yesterday was the second biggest day I've had this year. Better be dovish minutes or look out below. I don't know if the minutes, we'll see what the minutes does. China restricting exports won't have much of a difference, seeing as they don't export much anyway. Yeah, that might be true. Yeah, we made $700 yesterday. I might buy this silver dip here. Yeah, I mean, China's a big consumer of silver, obviously, with all the tech. All right, we're gonna buy this dip here. Silver. We might add one. I think we're just gonna leave it at 2 contracts here. See if we bounce. That's a meaningful dip, though, at 8:30 here today, guys. That's a meaningful dip. If we rebound back up. I'm gonna add to this because we already have $700 in profit. But yeah, China still exports a big amount of refined and semi-fabricated silver, especially into Asia's electronics and solar supply chains. All right, feed me a bounce here, silver. Silver is better for coating chips than gold because it heats up faster than gold, especially when it comes to electronics. Hold on, sorry, I'm managing this trade. I bought the dip, but apparently it's the worst dip to buy here. I mean, as long as we're not... I guess I can swing for the fences here since we have a cushion. I can add to this position, see if we bounce at that 200 exponential. We're starting to. There we go. I could also add more into this, but it's a risk. Very close. Again, this is a combine account, so we can take the risk. I don't trust buying this enough in my actual funded account. Yeah, we gave it a try, but this turnaround in silver at 830 is kind of wild. I think we have another reset we can use on this one, though. I'll put my actual funded accounts up. I just do not let me trade this in my actual funded accounts. It's just too much risk. I probably should just stick to trading the NASDAQ. And, but we're also right at the 200 exponential, so like maybe there's a dip buy opportunity here. YOLO? Yeah, hey. All right. We got the Case-Shiller house price index going live at 9 o'clock, so we do have the Case-Shiller. But we got the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. Eastern time today. We'll cover that as well. It's a holiday week, guys. It's a slower week. Not the busiest day, you know. No economic data. This data's a little light this week. Next week we get it coming back. Next week we got the labor report going live, so the labor report comes out next week. We have the prelim NFP data on Wednesday for the month. So we got the ADP jobs report Wednesday next week. We got jobless claims Thursday. And then I think next week we also have Tesla delivery numbers. Let me see if there's a... We get Q4 Tesla deliveries. I'm not sure when the schedule is to come out. Let me make sure. It's usually the first week of January. Q4 2025 consensus is 420,000 or so for deliveries for Tesla. Is it next Friday for Tesla deliveries? Or this Friday? This Friday would be... Okay, it might be this Friday, actually. It'd be the 2nd. So we will stream Friday if we do have Tesla deliveries coming out. Yeah, so we will stream Friday if Tesla deliveries drop. Yeah, silver, gold up. I'm curious to see if silver bounces here. I don't know if I care enough to risk. Okay, yeah, y'all are right. Friday, January 2nd. So we will cover Tesla deliveries on Friday. So we will stream. I was going to skip Friday, but if we got data coming out, that might move things. Especially Tesla deliveries. We'll stick around. We'll cover it on Friday. Tesla deliveries usually come out at 9 a.m. Here's that 200 exponential here on silver. That level actually held. Falling knife? Yeah, I mean, that's a big drop. That 830 drop did do something. I mean, look at 830 here. But we got work, John. Is that good? What does that mean? I mean, I'll stream Friday. Listen, I'm not saying I won't stream Friday. I'll stream Friday, but why cover Tesla deliveries? They're gonna be down. Are they? I mean, look, they're expected at 420,000. EU Commission spokesperson says China's military exercise further increases tensions. Michael Saylor has acquired 4,279 Bitcoin during quarter four. $451 million at 105,000 per Bitcoin, achieved a yield of 568% year to date this year in 2025. As of 12/30/2025, as of today, they said they hold 35,102 Bitcoin acquired for 3.78 billion at 107.6 thousand per Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of quiet, but it's sitting right around 8,000. Look at the 200 exponential, dude. I'm telling you, the 200 EMA. It just works a lot of the time. Not always. Nothing's 100%, but 200 exponential just works sometimes. One of my VIX alerts just popped. It's probably because the market's dropping, Isaac. I'm going to continue looking for dips in metals and staying long on Old Faithful and silver. Thanks for the stream. Hey, all good, Chef. Good luck, brother. Hope you make some money today, man. Again, if you see me lose today, I'm not going to say it's not my fault. I'm just saying I'm trading a Combine Challenge account most of the day. It's silver. All right, we got the Case-Shiller House Price Index. We'll see what that looks like at 9 a.m. Three cars. I don't know. Maybe it's just my area. I see a lot of Teslas driving around. Am I going to buy one? No. But I see a lot of them driving around. Honestly, the prices of Tesla swings too much. The Cybertruck, 200K. Now it's what? You can get one for like, what, 60, 70,000? That's a pretty big freaking swing. You know, I don't want a Cybertruck that much to deal with freaking 100% plus price decreases. You already lose a lot buying a new car, but man, those swings on Cybertrucks over the last 3 years have been wild. Yeah. Although I would like to drive in a car that drives for me. And I think Tesla and like people dislike them for political reasons. And I get it. I'm not picking sides. What I'm saying is that in terms of AI, robotics, and more, you know, you got the SpaceX IPO and all this different stuff coming out. I think they're still going to make a lot of money. I see a Cybertruck. I don't know if it's normal to see one. I see one semi-regularly. I see Tesla vehicles. I see Tesla cars more than I see the Cybertruck. In my area, at least. But again, I think like Teslas are cool and all, but I think you used to see a Tesla and be like, ooh, a Tesla. Right now, there's so many of them. Nobody's like, ooh, a Tesla anymore. It's just kind of a normal occurrence now, which is good for Tesla in terms of selling cars. But it also makes the status symbol of having a Tesla a little bit less, you know. Yeah, I'm sure the dynamic of seeing Teslas in Europe is much lower. In the US, I see them pretty frequent. I usually see a Tesla every time I leave the house. Really, it's not going to be a Cybertruck, but I usually see a Tesla like car. Usually, at least once when I leave the house. It might just be my area though. I'm not bragging at all. Don't think this is a brag. I'm just saying maybe this is the reason why I see more Teslas. Is that I live in a little bit higher of a income area, you know, and so maybe that I just see a lot of Teslas more. I see a lot of luxury vehicles in general more here, versus when I drive to like Baton Rouge or somewhere like Louisiana. I see less of them. They're not in my driveway. Baton Rouge is so Sue happy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm from Baton Rouge. I love Baton Rouge. Do I want to live in Baton Rouge? No. But, you know, I love Baton Rouge. My hometown. Go Tigers, you know. Bring us a championship, Lane. But do I want to live in Baton Rouge? Not really. You know, I've done that half my life. I don't really want to do it again. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're still at this 200 exponential in silver. I'm still kind of tempted to buy it, but I'm not going to do it in my funded account. EVs work if you get the time to stand in a random spot for 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, somebody living in an apartment complex is much more difficult. I mean, I think it's convenient if you have a home charger because you're usually not going to drive that much. It's less convenient on road trips for Tesla, although you might also argue the convenience of having the car drive for you compensates for it. But if you don't have your own home, and specifically you don't have like a garage charger for Teslas, it's obviously noticeably less convenient. Needing to find a place to charge it every day, and that's obviously not as good. I mean, I think that's going to slowly get better over time. They're going to figure out ways and infrastructure, but yeah, I can understand how that might not be the most convenient thing. All right, guys. Again, we got the Case-Shiller House Price Index at 9 o'clock. It's a little slow, but hey. We'll see what we get here. I mean, I'd pay $100 probably for it. You know? Would you pay $100 a month for FSD? Let me know in chat right now, would you? But yes or no in chat. Let me know how you feel about FSD here. We did a poll earlier today, and we asked people, will silver break all-time highs? We're honestly completely split down the middle. I think I'm going to change the poll now for the opening bell. Are you bullish or bearish in equities for the opening bell today? Vote on that poll. Let me know how you feel. Somebody said yes, yes. I would never use it. Gold dipping. Look at gold dip. So gold now at 43.91. Bitcoin under 88,000. we take a look at the NASDAQ here, NASDAQ's dipping too. Should have held that short. Yeah, gold's falling. NASDAQ's falling. FSD is full self-driving drop. I'm sorry, some of these comments I don't see. It pivots to top chat instead of live chat. So I'm trying to cover some of these. Yeah, I mean, I've never financed a car ever. I don't think I'm going to. Maybe for credit reasons, I might finance the car, like, but it's not going to be the full, like, I'd put like 70% down and then finance the rest just for credit reasons, but just to benefit my credit. But yeah, I'm not going to finance a car most. It doesn't make too much sense. It's long-term debt for a depreciating asset versus like a house or something like that, which is long-term debt for an generally appreciating asset. Do you think we'll ever get to the point where parents send their Teslas, pick the kids up from school? I think eventually, yes. And I think that's really obvious that we're eventually going to get there. The question is when, and I think we might be a longer way out than people think, but I think, robo-taxis are starting then. And the real question is, how does this affect the entire rideshare industry as a whole? Right? Like, how does this affect Uber and Lyft? If we take a look at Uber here, right? Uber's $81 a share. Still on a pullback, though. It was almost to $100 a share, though. It was at 100, so at 102 back in September. It's now at 81s. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna day trade live today. We'll see what we get. We do have the FOMC minutes report at 2 p.m. Eastern time today. Again, so Tesla analyst estimates Q4 delivery decline. Tesla published a compilation of analyst delivery estimates showing an expected 15% year-over-year drop in Q4 deliveries. Analysts tracked by Tesla forecast 422,850 deliveries, which is below the consensus of 445,000 from Bloomberg. It implies a 10% decline. First time Tesla has publicly shared these estimates on its investor relations website for the full year. The company's compiled estimate is about 1.6 million deliveries, down over 8% from last year, pointing to a second consecutive annual sales decline. Again, here's a video at 188.20s here, guys. 188.20s. 10 to 15 years until people are sending their cars out comfortably. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be something like that. I think it's going to be something like that. We'll see how much, but I think it's something like that. Baird also expects Tesla to enter next year with multiple catalysts, maintaining an outperform rating and a $548 price target. Speaking of Tesla here, 460s right now. They say catalysts include robotaxi announcement, regulatory and revenue updates in China and Europe, and progress in Optimus, Tesla semi volumes, and energy segment growth. Who do you agree with more? Silver's still bouncing back up though. Look at silver here. That 200 exponential, man. I should have held that long there. That bounce. Right at the 200 EMA. Again, we got the Case-Shiller house price index at about 7 minutes. Not a market mover. It's expected at 1.1% year over year for October. But it's not a market mover. The only thing after that we have is the Chicago PMI at 945. Subtrace, France. Look at this move up though, silver. Silver is getting closer to the highs here. It's at 75.70s. We get a little pullback, I might buy it again, but I gotta be careful. All right, we're gonna try combine number 3 today. Combine number 3 today. Again, we had a bunch of resets to cash in, so we might as well use those now. Wild silver market. I need a dip though to buy this. I don't want to buy on this big pullback. We pull back to like 50 here. I'll buy that. Hey, what's up, Tiny? You guys had your Wheaties today? I'm not a big Wheaties fan. I used to eat frosted mini wheats. Those are good. I haven't had them in years though. Alright, here's, we're dipping down. $75 is right here as well. So, but I'm looking at 50 here. Like I will buy a 50 dip. We're gonna start small. I got FOMO. I don't want to miss out on the big run here. Hey, thank you, M. AGQ up 235% since September. What is it? AGQ? Oh yeah, I mean it's a silver ETF right now. That thing's flying. Alright guys, we got the Case-Shiller house price index in 4 minutes. Again, I don't think it's a market mover. I don't think it's going to move anything necessarily, but it's something. We'll cover it. Again, it's expected about 1.1% for October year over year. But yeah, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. People will be shaken down by January 10th, maybe. Yeah, Long John Silver today. Probably the worst dad joke I could make right now, but hey, I'm doing it. Still bad I didn't win the lottery. Okay. I was planning out what I was going to do with my $2 billion. Okay. You know, it's alright. Oh, well, thank you for the donation. You know, people hate on Long John Silver's, but it's actually really good. I actually like it a lot. I don't know. I heard bad things before I actually had Long John Silver. I heard bad things about it, like it wasn't good, and then I ate it. It was great. All right, guys. Again, I think I'm just gonna sit in this. Maybe add to it. There we go. Love to see this. Let's break highs again, guys. Let's do it. Should I take one of these off just to protect it? Maybe I should. I don't think so, though. I'm just gonna let this roll. All right, guys. Here's the Case-Shiller in 40 seconds. Let's see if it holds. I don't think this is going to move markets again, but the Case-Shiller House Price Index is house prices. They're expected to increase 1.1% year-over-year for October. It measures the change in the selling price of single-family homes in about 20 areas across the United States. We'll see what this looks like. Again, it's expected at 1.1% year-over-year. All right, at this point, I'm going to take half off here just to protect it. I'm still going to sit on the rest, but... these are futures, guys. Futures. Using Top Step futures right now. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose. Here's the link if you want to check them out. Get you around the PDT rule. Teach you how to trade in a structured environment. I think that makes sense. But again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. As I always say. Here's the link. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose money. Understand all the stuff on screen, guys. I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose money. Understand all the stuff. And to the opening bell rings. Here's the Case-Shiller data. It's out. It showed up at 1.3%, stronger than the 1.1% expected. Again, 1.3%. Again, it should have been 1.3% versus 1.1% expected. A little bit stronger than expected data here. Still moving up close to highs here in this trade. There we go. You love to see it. Gotta add to this here. It's adding greedy right here, guys. I don't think so. Not necessarily right now. See if we can break highs into this. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. The NASDAQ is annoying. Maybe. I'm just glad we're getting something volatile during this holiday week. I was worried I would be streaming this week and nothing would be going on. And I'm not saying a lot of stuff's going on, but I'm just glad we're getting something here during this holiday week. I'm glad something's going on. It's better than nothing. This breaks highs, it could go parabolic. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting baked into. We're already up a bunch on this now, but starting to turn. Let's see if it holds. Line in the sand is probably what, 75 maybe. You can look at like this level here. Here. Better than a boring low volume week for sure. It's not good, but we got something going on in precious metals. Could be a fake out too. Look at this drop. But we had a cushion already here, so we're okay, but solar panels need silver. They're talking about space data centers. When silver goes to space, generally doesn't come back. There's a line outside Costco. Isn't there always a line though? Honestly, I hate Costco. Costco is like every day was Black Friday. Trying to go to Costco. Like, I understand. Do I want to invest in Costco stock? Maybe. Do I want to go physically to Costco? No. Absolutely. It's like every day's Black Friday. I'm just not a fan. I don't like the grocery store anyway. And then going to Costco adds a little bit more pressure. I really do hate shopping. I'm not a fan of shopping. I'm really not. Yeah, you make the mistake of going to Costco on a Sunday, you got problems. Going to Costco on a Sunday. Stressful. Stressful environment. Bullish on Costco. Where's Costco stock right now? Let me see. Costco's at 865s. Alright, so I'm kind of flat on the day now with these losses on this contracts. It's still real to me. Dang it. Here, we're gonna do this. Gonna bounce back, I believe. Costco stock's at 865, man. That's a wild move. It's actually red on the year, though. In a pullback zone. We did bounce back here. Look at this. I'm going to risk manage this and take half off here. Oh, man. It hurt my average even more, guys. It actually gave me profit for taking half off. That's all right. Maybe I'll buy this dip now. Fix my average a little bit here. We're green on the day still, but... I'm not shorting it, I'm long. It's a risky long position. We still got what? 25 minutes into the open. We got time. Ugh. All right. All right, again, Case-Shiller House Price Index. Here's the data right here. 1.3 versus 1.1%. A little bit better than expected. News is so light though. A lot of the news sources are shut down as well into the holiday is what we're seeing. Like a lot of these sources are shut down. News Squawk being one of them. Apparently AI believes this is me, guys. Is this me? right now. Should I grow my hair out like this? That me? All right, guys, I believe in this trade. It's gonna go higher. I'm gonna be positive. Yeah, here's gold, here's Tesla, here's Nvidia right now. So we do have Nvidia green on the day. Almost the 190s. How long has it been since Nvidia was at all-time highs? It's been a little bit though. 212s all-time highs. This was back in October. So technically green on the day. Bitcoin at 88,000. Your wife wouldn't let you? I mean, she's been pressuring me to shave the beard recently. You see, like, it's really light beard now. It's almost like a 5 o'clock shadow right now. She's pressuring me to shave it. Maybe I'll do some type of, you know, thing on stream. If X happens, I have to shave the beard. Let me know any good ideas there. Did I shave it live on stream? It's really been like 10 years since I've shaved my beard. Get Nvidia spike and then come back down. Yeah, I remember the push-ups. Yeah, there was one time I gave myself a pirate, like, Hook mustache, like from Hook. Where it's like a little spiral. As a joke, when I was shaving my beard, my wife took a picture of it, and that's the screensaver that she has on her phone is me with like a pirate mustache. I'll show you guys one day. Shave it if LSU loses to Houston. Bro, leave me alone, Tony. All right? I don't even want to talk about that game. We were so close to winning yet so far. Monthly home prices are up 0.4%. 0.4%. All right, guys, here we go. We got 20 minutes left. I've been in this trade. I'm losing. That's okay. We're really about flat here, so. Looks like silver's the only thing moving right now. I mean, Nvidia's moving. It's kind of quiet, though. It's not really like big moves in either direction. Here's the NASDAQ, same kind of thing. I mean, it's a long-term sideways trend today, you know, since like midnight last night. You know, we are basically in a long range here. The NASDAQ. Kept the beard and shave your head. I'm not gonna. That's crazy talk. I'm not doing that. Might get a haircut. But well, guys, we're down on this silver trade again. Silver just keeps playing with my heart here. Playing games with my heart. Luckily it's a combine, but. $17 minutes. But yeah, NASDAQ sideways. It is green. Kind of. Yeah, we'll see what we get here. I'm ready. I'm ready. Again, I'm staying in it. All right, SoftBank is fully funding a $4 billion investment into OpenAI per CNBC. We did have some big news here for tech. This news just dropped. SoftBank fully funding OpenAI commitment of $40 billion. Curious how this affects NVIDIA, ESM, AMD. So we're getting some positive microchip news. It's actually making the price of silver decrease a little bit here. Again, SoftBank fully funding $40 billion OpenAI commitment of citing sources from CNBC. Hey, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Dear John, I just want to say thank you for all your great work throughout the year. I'm a regular viewer. Appreciate you. Wish you and your family a happy New Year, Daniel. Hey, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. Top 5? That hurts, Ace. That hurts, man. That hurts me right here. You know. Looking at our poll, 60% of people are bullish today in equities. 40% are bearish. Oh, I saw what you did there, Equalizer. Top 3 haircuts. I need a haircut right now. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, Sublime. Check it out. Opening and dump at 10 o'clock? Maybe. We'll see, Matthew. The sad thing is I am going to have to liquidate this trade before the opening bell. There's no way I'm holding this into the open. Or maybe I will. Just a combine. Should I hold this into the opening bell, guys? Let me know in chat right now. Should I hold this trade deep into the opening bell today? Let me know in chat. Live a little. Mark my words. Yes. No. I appreciate the care, Sublimed. You know, at least I can tell Sublime cares about me in that way. I'm like, you know what? He's like, don't do it. I think he's probably right. Yeah, it's risky. It's a combine account, though. So if I lose, it doesn't matter too much. Never? Thank you, Francisco. You know. I think if I do, I'll take one of these micros off and then just hold one micro into the bell. I made $700 in my actual account yesterday. This is a combine account. This is different. But I'm down majorly into this. All right, I think I honestly gotta sell some of this now. Oh my gosh, I just added to this. All right, look, it's a combine account, guys. Do not copy me here. you know what? Let's just triple down on this. The problem is I don't care about $50 that much. So, but I believe here. There we go. We're green. Okay, I'm gonna immediately start unloading. Get me out of here. Okay, there we go. We got one micro contract. God, I may not be here tomorrow, so here's the end of your donation to the plant. Hey, thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate it. I'll let her know. Thanks so much. Yeah, I did see this SoftBank funding. I accidentally added one micro contract, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to add a bunch to this. We're now very green on this trade. We're up $600 here. But I appreciate the donation, Lee. Again, do not copy me in these type of trades because this account doesn't really matter. And so do not do this on your account. That does matter. Again, SoftBank fully funded OpenAI commitment of $40 billion according to CNBC citing sources. We got 10 minutes now until the opening bell. We got Chicago PMI data at 9:45. I still don't think that's going to do anything either, based off of just not really the Chicago PMI doesn't usually have a big influence. What's my water bill, dude? Honestly, let me see. Hold on. Check it. Speaking of that, it's been a little bit better recently, you know? Right now it's $446. I'm gonna pay it early. Look at this trade. All right, water bill is paid. Which ticker would be the best to trade silver? I'm not going to say anything's the best because I really have no idea what's going to happen. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. You know, make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything here. I mean, there's a couple silver symbols you can trade. Like, I'm in PSLV. There's also SLV. I'm not telling you to buy any of these. I really don't know what they're gonna do, but there's SLV, PSLV. Chat, let me know the best silver ETFs that you like. You can also just trade silver futures. What I'm doing. Bitcoin popped up to over 88,000 ahead of the opening bell. Silver's still running back up some here. Okay, yeah. All right, guys. 8 minutes. The opening bell brings us today. I'm betting on my life savings based on your advice. I don't even give out advice. I don't even know what advice is, but I definitely don't spit it out. Not an investment professional, guys. Don't do it. Don't copy me. This is the best silver trade of my generation, though. Yeah, guys, they call me the generational silver trader of his generation, is what they call me. We're up 70 ticks per share in silver. I'm gonna hold this through the opening bell. Do not copy me here. I don't know what it's gonna do open, but GameStop struggling maybe under 20 soon, at 2050s. With one micro contract. I want to hold this through the opening bell, but I'm up so much on one micro contract of silver right now, guys. You were right just a bit early. That's right. You know. All right, guys. 6 minutes left until the opening bell. All right, guys. Here we go. We got the opening bell coming soon. Coming soon. We have 5 minutes left. A little bit slower of a day today, but that's all right. Silver's moving. Gold's moving. I think we got a few reasons to watch the opening bell. All right, guys, 5 minutes. Here we go. Good luck, guys. I'm going to hold this trade through the opening bell. Ooh, all right. Yeah, I'll show you this image that I sent my daughter. So apparently I went to this pottery place with my wife. And so I send her this. Let me show you guys. I sent her a picture of my artwork here. I told you don't. I know. I know you did. And if I lose, I'll look out for you, you know? I'll be like, you know what? He tried to stop me. It's all right. I'll tell you what, though. I went to the movie theater yesterday. I'm still very green on this trade. Look at this trade. And I am incredibly disappointed with AMC yesterday. Whoa, look at this trade. We're up 100 ticks here in micros. Wow. Look at Silver go here, chat. 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, we saw Avatar yesterday as well. Bro, the audacity of AMC though right now. They put this pizza, they charge an arm and a leg for this pizza. They put this pizza in a huge box. I opened this pizza box with my daughter thinking I was going to share it with my daughter. Bro, they gave me the smallest piece of pizza, the smallest full pizza I've ever seen in my life. Look at that pizza they served me at AMC. Like, the audacity of them. Silver's pushing up. I'm up $500 on one micro contract here, guys. You know what? I'm holding it through the opening bell anyway. All right, guys, we got less than a minute here for the opening bell. Less than a minute. Yeah, dude, I opened that pizza box. The box was big, too. Like a big pizza box. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got a big pizza. I opened that pizza box. I had to take a picture of it. All right, guys, here we go. Opening bell, 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Good luck today, guys. Again, I told you guys I'm going to hold this through the open. We're going to try. NVIDIA falling down here into the opening bell. Look, I believe here, this trade. It's close enough to highs at the opening bell. Here's the open in 5 seconds. Hit the like button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed if your opening bell is delayed. Here's the opening bell. One Silver. At the very least, we got a cushion into the bell. Yeah, good luck, everybody, today. Here's the opening bell. Look at NVIDIA shoot up here. Right at the open. Went up to 189s. So far, it's not good. Not good. Luckily, we just had a huge cushion. So I want to add to this, though. I almost added to it. I should have. All right, we added to it. We have 2 micros now. Struggling to break highs, guys. I'm going to cut this break even if it doesn't work. Yeah, we're going to start unloading this now. So we actually completely flat on the trade. NVIDIA ripped up, maybe a late delayed response to that SoftBank news is what I'm thinking this is. Again, Dan Ives says top AI stock picks for 2026 is NVIDIA. His AI-related picks from Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Palantir, CrowdStrike, NVIDIA, despite leading the AI rally in recent years, excluded. Oh, it's excluded. As Ives focuses on derivative beneficiaries of AI spending across broader tech systems. He thinks Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Palantir, and CrowdStrike are going to be the better moves. Looks like I got a Silver at the right time. We're still green on the day. Up 500 or so. Man, these are swings. Look at Silver turning at the open. Fed minutes is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. For Fed minutes, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, we got Chicago PMI. That we're going to cover today. Chicago PMI at 9:45. Not going to say it. You told me so, Sublimed. You were right, I was wrong. You were smart, I'm dumb. You know? You're very good looking, I'm not attractive today, man. You were right. I accept it. It's okay. Here's the 200 exponential. Do I buy that dip again? See if silver rebounds here. 10 minutes today. The question is, how does that affect things? Well, what time is it? It's still a little early for me to buy it here, to be honest. Alright, we're now under the 200 exponential, but we're kind of popping back up here. Let's try to buy this. Go. We got in right at the 200 EMA. I want to see if this bounces it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take half off there. It did bounce. If it keeps going. Very strong bounce. All right, we're just gonna take that off. We're up about 750 on the day now. Yeah, 9:45. We got the Chicago PMI data. I don't think it's gonna move markets really, but we'll cover it no matter what. It's like I got out of that last trade right in time. I mean, yeah, look, we're up 700 and something on the day here in this one. Yeah, all right. What I'm looking at is if it breaks under this 200 exponential. The 200 EMA has been propping it up right here. You can see this light blue line, but if we cleanly break underneath it and start to trend down, see what the shorts do. Nvidia is falling down here, though. Nvidia down to 187s right now. Yeah, we're green. That's right, Trans. It'll be all right. Or you might be a little delayed on the stream, brother. I paid my water bill, what, like 5 or 10 minutes ago? So you might be a little delayed. My energy bill looking like. All right, so we're back over the 200 exponential here. Get it in 3 minutes, or in 7 minutes. We have We have Chicago PMI coming out. And my electricity bill's not as bad. All right, NASDAQ rejecting at 75.50s here. Or this is the gold market rejecting here. The NASDAQ is a little bit different. I mean, this is silver rejecting. NASDAQ is very flat, which is kind of what a lot of people aren't streaming because markets are slower. Good the opening brings, though. Crypto's sideways, too. I mean, all markets kind of look the same. If you zoom in on Bitcoin right here, right around 88, and then you look at the NASDAQ, it's pretty similar. All right, we'll see what Chicago PMI does. About 5 minutes. We do have the Fed minutes report. I wish my water bill was 55. It's the pool, man. It's the pool. I might short a little silver move up here. We're green on the day. A big bounce. I'm gonna short that right here. One micro contract though. I'm not gonna take a big position here short. I just want to see if the 200 EMA rejects it. Now we continue down a little bit. Is it? Okay, yeah, we got 5 minutes. We're very close to cutting it, but I want to see if we reject the 200 EMA and then fall. There we go. Actually, we're green now. There we go. I don't think Chicago PMI is necessarily going to move this a lot, but Chicago PMI expected at 39.8. Last time was 36.3. There we go. I'm going to cut this right here. Plan worked. Trade idea worked here. Under the 200 EMA worked. Here's 75 right here. So if we got a bounce level, maybe around 75 is possible. Again, we got 4 minutes until Chicago PMI data. We're just going back and forth. Yeah, again, Chicago PMI at 945. We'll see what it does. Yeah, Nvidia's red. There's $75, so I'm looking at that for a bounce level on silver if we do. NASDAQ sideways too. Again, check out Top Step if you haven't already. No PDT rule in futures. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose money. It's a great way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose money. Limits your risk. Teaches you how to trade. I can't guarantee anything. You want to confirm it all with them, but useful, in my opinion. I'll put the link up. They're a sponsor of mine, so I'm biased, of course, but check them out. Here's the link. We're under 75 now for silver. We have 2.5 minutes left until this data releases. Yeah, $75 is right here. I think that's a relevant psychological level as well. Look at NVIDIA dip here as well. I don't see any big breaking news though. 2 minutes until Chicago PMI data comes out. All right, so tomorrow also is Warren Buffett's last day as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. When he started, it was $19 a share in 1965. It's $750,000 a share today, up 3,900,000%. Crazy move. We're now under 75 here. Yeah, silver's been wild. And here we go. We got about a minute left. Again, I don't think Warren Buffett's influenced things though, really here. Like, I don't think Warren Buffett is running the company at 90 something. Yeah, I got your pawn already done. All right, guys, here we go. 9:45. Again, Chicago PMI data is coming out soon. It's expected at 39.8. I don't know how much it's going to move the markets. 39.8 is what's expected for December for Chicago Purchasing Managers Index. It drops in about 20 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. Here's the data in about 5 seconds. If it moves anything. Here's the NASDAQ in the bottom. Get the top, silver in the left. And 43.5, much stronger than expected for Chicago PMI. It should have been 43.5 versus 39.8 expected. 43.5 versus 39.8 expected for Chicago PMI. Much stronger than expected. Again, as I suggested, I don't think this is really moving anything. And I'm going to get out of here a little bit early. I got the Fed minutes report a little bit later today, guys. So again, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the FOMC minutes report is going to go live. We are going to be streaming that live here. So again, hit the subscribe button. Again, check out Top Step. It's pinned at the top of the chat if you want to help support the channel. No PDT roll futures. They recently lowered activation fees and more. Here's the Chicago PMI data. There's the link right there. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. So y'all be safe. Again, I'll see you guys in a couple hours for Chicago for the Fed minutes report. As soon as I close the stream, it'll bring you to that Fed minutes stream if you haven't already. So I'll see you guys over there. Be safe today. A little choppy. I would be careful, even in silver. You know, just be careful. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Good luck.